Hey everybody, it's Karen and Miss Patchy with Food and Family. We're going to start dinner, but we wanted to come out and get some parsley out of our garden. Miss Patchy wants a belly rub. I'm going to show you around a minute, and we've gotten this flower bed cleared out. So look at that. Didn't he do a beautiful job? Mr. Jones did that. My rose is blooming. And look at this. Look at my succulents. See how much they have grown? Oh my goodness. Now, here's what I want you to see. Since you were here with me last and we were building them, we've planted. I've got to get out here and water them this afternoon. I don't like to water them when the full sun is hitting on them. That squash, that's all yellow squash. And this is patty pan squash and cucumbers. Okay, Miss Patchy wants some petting. Come here, baby. Well, yeah, I've got to do something with my collard greens. I think I need to replant them. And look at my tomatoes. Can you see that? That is 3 tomato plants. This one here is a Cherokee purple. Again, I'll get out this afternoon and water them. I put some marigolds in because I've always heard that they keep the bugs away. So far we don't have anything eaten on them, but we do put stuff on them. There's some rosemary and some basil that's hiding in there. And I'm going to come around here and show you from this end. Look at my parsley. It is hanging over. But isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? I am going to cut some of this parsley. Now, I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to see. So let me pause you for just a minute, okay? Okay, I've got a beautiful bunch. I've got a beautiful bunch of parsley here. We're going to use it in our supper. But look at that. Don't they look healthy? See how thick those stems are? I am just so proud of how my raised beds are doing. And I certainly want to thank Arthur and Katrina Bagwell for building these for me. And raised beds are just the way to go. Start dinner. And this dinner is going to be so easy and so quick. I've got some baby lima beans here, and I'm just going to drop them right here in my pot. And then I'm going to put a little bit of water over them. First, before I do that, I want to put some chicken broth. I don't have a whole lot, but I want to use that first. Now we're going to put some water. I just want to cover the beans just until they're covered. Oh, cover them about that far, about up to your knuckle. Now you're going to be watching them, so if they need more water, you can add more water. But I'm going to also add some butter. Y'all knew it was coming. So I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of butter. And I want to put some salt in there. I'm not going to do a whole lot of salt because of my broth and my butter is salty. Then I'm going to put the lid on it and put it on the stove. And I'm going to get it started. And that's all I'm going to do. The next thing I'm going to do is some stewed squash. Now, I have already washed my squash. I scrubbed it real good. So I'm going to cut it up here. I'm just going to cut these ends off. And I'm going to cut it in half. And just cut it right into my pot. You don't want it too thick. See about how thick I've cut it. And just drop it right in. You don't have to. Looky there. See how quick. Now for us, I use 3 squash. You see how it filled that pot up. Okay, so I've got some onion. I've got some onion that was already cut up. So I'm just going to use it. It's sliced. It doesn't have to be chopped. It's going to cook with the squash. And I'm going to cut just a little more. And put it in there. And that onion is going to make that taste so, so good. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. I love black pepper. And I think black pepper does so well on vegetables. And I just want a little bit of water. Remember that your squash, cabbage, they're watery vegetables, so it didn't take a whole lot. So I'm going to put about that much, about a half a cup. Now I want to put some butter on this. I thought I had some out. I'm going to put about a half a stick of butter in here. I'm going to put the lid on. Bring it over here. Turn the stove on. And that's it. And I'll keep it stirred around. And if it starts getting too watery, what I'll do is take the lid off. It'll keep cooking, but some of the liquid will evaporate. You don't want it real watery when you go to eat. Let me find my towel. Now, for the last thing I'm going to do is, there's my stick of butter, y'all. I'm going to make some hamburgers and gravy. And see if I can move this down where you can see it. I want you to see that pan. Okay, so I've got, this is just a little bit over a pound of ground beef. I think it's this ground chuck. Now I'm going to cut this onion up a little more, and I want to chop it for this. Let's drop this in there. Look, and that's plenty of onion for this. Now look, I've got some fresh parsley out of my garden. I've got a video clip. Oh, it smells so good, guys. Good. Now, can you see what I'm doing? I think you can. I'm going to gather these in a bunch, and I'm going to get them as tight as I can. And then I'm going to take my knife, watch your fingers, and I'm just going to run through that parsley. Pretty. Gather all that up there. Looky there. See where we're at so far? I want an egg, and I forgot to get it out. And the egg is going to be my binder. I need to turn this eye on so it can be getting hot. So put my egg in here. And some breadcrumbs I have seasoned. Whatever you think. That's about 1/4 cup. But I want some salt and pepper. Go in with your hands. Nothing can beat mixing up them with our God-given tools. And we're going to get this mixed up. I'm going to get some patties made, and then I'm going to come back And we're gonna fry these now. I'm about to put these hamburger in the skillet. I want you to listen. Hear that sizzle? That's what you want. You want your pan hot. You can see down in there. And I think I can get all of these in there. This package of hamburger made 6 patties, and that is more than enough for me and him. You see some onions that didn't quite make it into the hamburger. They fell out. We're just gonna dump them right in there. We're not gonna leave them behind. I'm gonna get these browned, and then we're gonna make our gravy. That's all I'm doing right now is browning that, because it's gonna simmer in that gravy. So let me get this cooking. You know what I'm gonna do. I can't help it. Looking at me. I'm gonna put some butter in the skillet. A little bit here. All it's gonna do is make it taste better. Looky there. And then we're gonna come back and I'm gonna get these up and we're gonna make some gravy, and they're starting to brown real good. So y'all give me just a few minutes and I'll be right back, okay? Our hamburger has browned nicely, and I'm gonna take it up. See, it's not done. See, I just wanted to get it good and brown. Can you see that? And we're gonna put it back in here. But first, we're gonna make some gravy, and we're gonna add that goodness to this pan. There's grease from the hamburger, which is fine to use for this. I need a little bit of flour. I didn't get out. So let's put a little flour in here. Let's put a little flour. And I'm gonna put a couple of heaping tablespoons of flour to start with. Let's look at it and see if we need more. Y'all know how to make gravy. Equal parts flour and fat. In this case, it's the fat from the meat and that little bit of butter I put in there. I'm gonna put another tablespoon. So that's 3 heaping tablespoons, which will amount probably close to 4 tablespoons total. Excuse me. And I'm going to put some black pepper now, because of some other stuff that I'm using. I'm only going to put about that much salt, because this other stuff I'm using is going to be salty. And this is what we're going to flavor our gravy with. I'm going to use some seasoned roasted beef base. Let me get a clean spoon. I'm not going to use but about a teaspoon. We've got other things we're going to put in here. And I'm going to use a little bit less than that of the roasted garlic. This is going to be so good. Gonna be good. Let's stir that around and get that all melted in there. Okay, so we're going to add, y'all know I like to use brown gravy mix when I'm making gravy, my brown gravy. So I'm gonna put a couple of heaping tablespoons of that. And you know, also use just a very, very small splash of balsamic vinegar. That's it. Half a teaspoon at most. I don't want it to taste vinegary. And now my pan's looking dry, if you can see. And that's okay, but I want that flour to cook, and it's been cooking around a little bit. Sadly, I don't have any beef broth, but that's okay. Use the beef base and the garlic base. So I'm just going to use a little bit of water. There's enough seasonings in here to make up for that flavor that we're missing from the broth. Trust me, I've made gravy like this for many years. Now I'm just going to keep adding water until I get it to the consistency that I want. And then I'm going to let this simmer. I'm going to put this hamburger back in, and I'm probably going to let this simmer 30, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I may turn it down on super low and let it go about an hour. And I want a little bit more water. Now what I'll do is I'll watch this as it simmers, and if it starts getting a little too thick, I'll just add a little more liquid till I get it where I want it. Now, that is beautiful right there. I want you to see the consistency that I've got it. Can you see? And that is going to thicken up. Okay, so let's slip. Yeah, I can handle them. Let's slip our patties back in there. And I'm going to get don't forget those, don't leave those juices in there, y'all. That is just flavor. And I'm going to get a lid, and I'm going to cover this up, and I'm going to let it simmer for, like I said, probably turn it down as low as it'll go, and I may let it go close to an hour. So y'all stay with me, and we'll come back later when we pull this together, okay? We're ready to eat supper. I pulled all this together. It didn't take long. Y'all were with me through most of it. We have our beautiful corn on the cob. You didn't get to see me cook that. Our stewed squash. We have our hamburger that has onions in it and gravy. Our green lima beans. And I made a pan of cornbread. You ready to eat?
Sure.
Let's make a plate. Now, what I didn't tell you, when you make these hamburgers, brown them up, but you can brown them up the night before, put them in the fridge. Next morning, put them in your crock pot, put your gravy over it, set it, and you can go. Go to work, go shopping, do whatever you want to do. And that's especially convenient for like working moms or just any working person. I know you like squash with onions, and this squash has onions in it. We've got green lima baby butter beans, and I know you like these.
Of course. Like my green limas. Excuse me.
We have, I sliced up, you want some cornbread?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it is full of butter. I cook cornbread with a lot of butter. I sliced up some tomatoes. Now I'm gonna let you put whatever sauce you want on it, but I put some pepper.
Oh, okay.
And a piece of onion. Now looky there. That's a beautiful plate, isn't it? So we're gonna eat. I want you to try a bite and let me know just what you think about this while I fix my
Finger licking good.
I fix my plate.
And they were washed.
I told them since we've been gone, I just wanted some vegetables when I got home. We usually do when we get home. We like some home cooked meals. Which ones did you try? The beans?
Lima beans. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
They're real good.
What about that squash?
Squash is good and buttery.
Yeah, I did put some butter in it now.
Yeah, that's good.
I did put butter in. Oh, and look, he globbed the butter in my cornbread.
I'm gonna glob some in mine too.
Let's get some tomato. And I want some onion.
You know, restaurants just don't compare to you.
No, they don't,
It's got
do they?
flavor. You go in a restaurant, there's no flavor.
Yeah, and that's happening so much now. And I wanted a pickle. Looky there. We certainly hope y'all enjoy our videos, because we certainly enjoy bringing them to you. We appreciate each and every one of you. We hope you will share, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when we post another video. You going in for the corn?
That makes it easier.
There you go. That's good fresh corn too. That's not frozen. You can tell the difference, can't you?
I can.
Big difference that. Some pepper?
I like pepper on my corn.
All right. We'll see you soon, everybody. Look for my next